Welcome back to another episode of Modaufy Garage. I'm Alex, and on today's episode, we're changing the front door speakers on my 2007 Ford Falcon XR6 Turbo. To get access to this speaker in the driver's door, first you need to remove the driver's door trim, or the trim, whichever door you're doing first. But I'm not going to go through that in this video because I have done it previously. So what I'll do, I'll put that link in description. So when you've got time, check it out. All right, so after you have removed your door trim, what you're going to do is get a e-Torx bit, which in this is an E6 bit. It's just on my, it's just a quarter drive, just a small one. So I've got 4 screws, so I'll just remove those. And the reason why I'm taking this speaker off, because it's not working. And that's how easy to take it out. Now, just quickly, if you are removing the factory speakers, all you're going to find here is a factory loom, and it's just a matter of unplugging it. That's it. Okay, so you can do a whole bunch of stuff with replacement speakers. What I've decided to do is just replace the 5x7s. There are a few on the market these days. You could decide to go for a 6.5 inch or whatever you want. You just got to be careful with these, because with these Fords, because the speakers are in the front door, so you're limited in the depth in what you can do. So I measured it, and I bought these ones because they fit in with the measurements, and they're 56.5 millimeters or 2.2 inches deep, so they should definitely easily fit. And it's a 5x7, so I'm hoping it just lines up directly with the holes. So I'm not going for the top of the range audio. I'm just looking for something that's a bit more enhanced from factory. At the end of the day, I just need something so I can listen to some music. So let's unbox this, and let's see what we've got. Excellent. So it looks like, well, they come with some screws. They come with some new wires, so that's perfect. Some instructions. I don't think we'll be using those today. And perfect. It's a nice looking speaker, but I don't know that much about these things. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to trim these wires up, solder everything together, connect these wires to these wires so it goes straight on the connection. But first, what I want to do is I want to do a test fit. All right, so before I start playing with the wires, what I want to do, I want to test fit the speaker. So I'm just going to take it, put it up, and I can see all the holes are lining up everywhere. So I'm not really going to have to worry too much. Those screws should go in without a problem. So what I need to do now is get those wires ready. Because we've had aftermarket speakers on here before, we don't have the factory looms. These little wires here they're extensions to the factory. So what I'm going to do first is just go through all this, see where I want to start fresh. So then I can go and add these new wires and then solder everything together. So let's get started on it. So what I want to do now, so I've cut off all the old wires that I don't want to use. I'm going to strip back some of this wire, and then what I can do, get my solder out, put some solder on here, put some shrink wrap, but I'll show you what I do as I go. Okay, so what you would have seen, so I've cut off the old wire, and so what I've done is gone back to the factory wire, and these wire strippers weren't working the way they're meant to. Probably need to invest in another set. So what I've done, just got a plank of wood, got my Stanley knife, and just opened up the wire very carefully just to take all the plastic around it, just enough so I can fit my new speaker wire, and so I can grab it and do some soldering. Just to give you a close-up, you can see I haven't taken that much off, pretty much just in line with the new wires. So you just got, all you need to do here is really make sure you've got that black wire, and then I've got this wire here, it's got a black strip in it. I'll connect those two, and then the other wire I'll just put on like that. So let me start my soldering iron up, and we'll put these on. Okay, so I don't have enough wire on either side to wrap all the wires and intertwine them together. So what I'm going to do, these wires that are coming out of the door, I'm going to try and put some solder on them first, so then it might make my job a little bit easier when I put the fresh wire and attach it to it. So let's get the camera over here, and then we'll be able to show what I'm doing. That's it. So you can see I've got some solder. It's probably hard to see, but you can see some solder appear on the ends of the wire. Well, they're a bit hot. So I'll put this soldering iron down. Now before I put my new wires on, I've got these heat shrink. So what I'll do, that will go on the wires like that, and I'll put those on after, but I'm just preparing them now because I can't put them on after the fact. But I'll start with the negative wire. So in this case, the negative wire has got the black, it's got the black strip, and then this wire, this one's got a black strip as well. So I've got my Stanley knife here to hold everything for me in position. I just have to, hopefully everything else lines up, and start connecting. And I'll just have a look at that, take it away, and they are joined. Yep, I'm happy with that. And there shouldn't be too much pressure on it, so I'm not too fussed that I can't intertwine the wires together. So I'm just struggling a bit trying to get these wires together. So I've managed to put some solder and they are stuck. So what I'm going to do now is just get these pliers and just crimp everything together as best as I can, just so they're together, and then I'll run it again with the soldering iron and just try and smooth everything out a little bit. Everything seems to be strong enough. But yeah, again, I'm not too worried about this. Look, the soldering could be a little bit better. So I've done my crimping now, so just to try and tidy up these wires, so I'll just do a little bit more soldering. Whoop, it's got stuck. Just to try and clean it all up. And put that to the side and just... Alright, so just give it a light pull. It looks like they are connected now. Don't judge me on my soldering, haven't done this in a very long time. But I'll just try and push that down a little bit. But look, at the end of the day, no one's ever going to see it. And it looks okay. I'll give myself a 3 out of 10. Remember when I said just to put this heat shrink over the top? So all I'm going to do now, so this is just to protect the joint really. Just going to squeeze it over the top. If it goes over my my soldering efforts. Might have to play around with it a little bit. And there it goes. So all I need to do now, and I suppose I just need to be a little bit careful, just make sure it's over the joint. We'll bring it back a little bit. I have a heat gun. So I don't, there are other specialist tools or something you can use, flames or something. So I'm just going to try and use this, and hopefully I don't burn anything around it. So hopefully they just smelt and it happens quickly. So let me put it on, get my legs out, so get my legs out of the way so I don't burn myself. And yeah, fingers crossed. And that's all there is to it. It shrunk straight away. So next step is to grab my speaker. Plug my speaker in. So they've Polk have made it quite easy to do. So they've given me two different lengths, so I know that the negative wire, which is the black wire, has a smaller terminal, so I'm just going to plug that in like so. And it's quite nice, a nice tight fit. And then the positive wire goes on the bigger terminal. Oh, make sure I don't bend that too much. There we go, like put it on like so. But before I do that, let me take that off. So what I want to do is just wrap up these wires a little bit, and just to give them some, just to stop them from moving around, just to clean everything up together. Now it looks like factory again. All right, let's put the speaker in. Let's hook it up. Just be careful. The negative. The positive. Let's put it back in the door. So I'm just using my factory screws again with the E-Torx bit. Put the top one in, line all the holes up. That one's there. Got another one here. One goes there. That one goes there. And last but not least, that one goes there. So I will tighten them up. And that's it. So what we need to do now is test it. Everything's screwed in. We've checked the wires. We've soldered the wires. We've put everything back together again. The only thing left to do is test the sound coming from it. And this song might sound a little familiar if you're a regular viewer of Modaufy Garage. So let's test it out. Let's turn this volume up. And it's working. Great. It's awesome. So you heard the sound that was coming out of this, and I'm quite happy with the outcome. I'm glad it ended up being a speaker and not a wire that could have been exposed somewhere else in the system. So look, you saw I use basic tools. It doesn't really take that long. You need a all you really need is a soldering iron really, and a knee torques a bit to take these screws out. But yeah, it's not a hard job. Just make sure that if you are replacing speakers that you do measure what you need first, so you're not pushing against windows or anything like that. So all I need to do now is repeat everything that I've done on this side to the left hand side of the car. If you like this video, hit that like button, and if you want to support the channel, please hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next video.